Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Well, now, last video that we put together was on now and the importance of recognizing that the only place you can ever be is right here, right now. So the now is very important, and I will put a link to that other video up there so that if you want to refresh your memory on that, you can go ahead and do it. This week we're going to move into somewhat new territory. We're going to talk about using happy memories and what is a happy memory. Now, other techniques that we haven't talked about around affirmations and visualization is to develop what's called a happy journal, in which you would write little things down and put pictures in and make a little journal of those things that cause you to feel happy or peaceful or content. So the use of happy memories can be very important in changing your life. There is a lot of energy in happy memories. So we're going to talk about how you define happy memories. So we're going to do some statistical work. If you're not familiar with that, we're not going to go deep into it. It's just surface work. And then how you can begin to use your happy memories. Sometimes a lot of people don't have happy memories, or a lot of them. In that case, we need to develop them. By that, I mean through our imagination, we can develop scenarios with a happy ending. And when we do that, just like when you go to the movies, you know, when you go to the movies, you're looking at the screen, and the screen is just a flat surface. But while you are looking at it, sometimes you can burst out laughing. And when you do, and this is one of the things we're going to be talking about, when your body bursts out laughing, first of all, it's an interpretation in mind. And then the mind sends signals to the body, and then the body bursts out laughing. You change the chemistry in the body from whatever it was to a happier chemistry. And these are all things that we're going to be discussing in a little while. And I'll draw a little diagram statistically to give you an idea how you can begin to shift your world. Oh, and how great will that be when we shift it in a positive direction? So stick around while we change things around, and we'll make things easier and happier for you. See you in a moment. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. I did talk about my shirt. I got a saying on this shirt. It says, good writers have warped minds. And I'm a great writer. Well, I got this in the mail, and I didn't know where it came from. I thought it was a secret admirer. And then I found out that it was my kid's sister that sent it to me. So, I guess she thinks I have a very unusual mind. And she may be right. Now, I mentioned before in the intro about the possibility of making a happy journal. A accumulation of things that cause you to bring up inside of you happy memories. And we'll talk about the importance of having happy memories. Now, each one of, when you have a memory, it's of some event that happened that is no more. The event is gone. And from our last discussion, in our last video, in the present now, it doesn't happen in the past. You are not bringing up the event. This is, you might think I'm splitting hairs here, but I'm not. It is important to recognize that when an event happens in the present moment, it's gone. It's gone. It doesn't move into the past. It doesn't move into the future. All that energy that comes together in the now moment, that little pinpoint, gone, gone, gone. It's no place. All that energy is gone. It's not happening in the past or in the future. The only thing you have left of an event that happens in the present moment is your unique memory of what you think happened. And it never happens the way you think it does. So, now, it's an interpretation. Memories are an interpretation inside of you of something that didn't happen the way you think it did, but you have a memory of it. And you are going to rate or rank each one of these memories that you have. Some of them are neutral. They don't mean anything. And so the ranking system is 0. And I often ask people, for instance, you may think about this. 7 weeks ago, you had dinner. Now, what did you have 7 weeks ago? And about 99% of the people will say, well, I don't remember. Unless they went to the hospital because they got food poisoning or something. But it's not something that is important. You had a meal, you took in nourishment, your body absorbed it, and dissipated what it didn't use or need, and you just went on with life. So many of our memories, we easily forget them in the conscious mind as we move into something more exciting. So I'm going to draw a little diagram. Now, I kind of mentioned it in the description of this. It is called a normal probability, or bell-shaped curve, or hat curve. There's all kinds of names for it. So I'll draw it. It's supposed to be uniform on both sides of it. And this is developed because of the way you rank your memories. So as I draw it, we'll talk about it and begin to see if it makes sense to you. So it's a little statistics, but it's not that great. So I'll draw it like on a graph paper. So make believe this is a piece of graph paper. And on there, we're going to start off with the 0 point, and it's called the center line of the curve. And basically, it kind of looks like this. Now you can kind of see why it's also called I didn't do such a good job, a bell-shaped curve. Now both sides of this are supposed to be uniform, to be normal. In other words, this side and this side are supposed to be normal. And if we let this side, now we're going to talk about your memories. This side represent good memories. And this side represent bad, hurtful, painful memories. If you're normal, you're going to have equal on both sides. You'll have some good and some bad. But we're looking for the good ones. So, if everyone, now this is the one, anything along this line will be those that don't mean anything. And between here is going to be about 95%. All your memories are going to fall within this normal probability curve. So you take these little ends out here. These are what's called outliers, or outside of your normal memories. And these will be over here, good ones, excellent ones. These are excellent memories. These are the ones that we're really looking for. How to use your good memories. Now you have to identify them. Now they could be all kinds of stuff. They could be your first love affair. They could be going to college. They could be your first child. All kinds of good stuff. Good stuff's over here. Over here, not so good. Pretty bad. Feels terrible, feels awful when I think of it. And these two areas, these are the ones that we're going to talk about. The good and the bad. The ones in the middle, the ones in the middle are going to be normal. Not so good, not so bad, pretty good, and all kinds of stuff like that. They're not going to bother you too much. The outliers in your experiences with life are going to be your drivers. These are the drivers, not the normal stuff. Not what you had for dinner 7 days ago, or 7 years ago. They just don't matter. Now, if you think real hard about them, you can probably pull some of that information out. So the good ones, this is the ones that we're going to, how to use good memories. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those. These are the ones that in other videos I've said, you have to heal the past. You have to heal the past. Because if you don't, these are the drivers that's going to drive your world. This is a counterbalance, but most of the time, there's not enough good stuff to override the weight of the bad stuff. So if there's more negative memories in your life, this curve gets what we call skewed. Your center line will move over here. We'll call this center line 2. And this will all skew over here. And whatever this distance is here, going to be bad. It's going to be relationships, it's going to be work, it's going to be illness, it's going to be all kinds of stuff coming up here. Because you've skewed your normal probability over to the dark side. If you think about Darth Vader, this is where he is. Now, the same thing is true over here. When you start having good memories, when you start, this weight gets more, this will skew over here. You'll have another center line. We'll call this center line 3. This would be 1. Center line 3. And so you would skew over here, and this distance, the distance between them, magnificent, wonderful. This is where you're manifesting, when you can do this. This is where, if you ever got to listen to Abraham and Hicks talk about being in the vortex or being in the zone, this is where you're at. Because you can let go of what you don't need. You let go of what you don't need, which is the negative past. You say, oh no, I have to keep it because it's real. It happened. Not the way you think it did. That's part of the illusion. I just said you can't, in the present moment, there's nothing left over in the present moment. The event is gone. It's gone. The energy is dissipated, whoosh, like steam. Whoosh, it's all gone. What do you have left? Your memories. And all they are is stories that you tell yourself about what happened. Oh, it was terrible, it was terrible. And the more you tell yourself that way, talk to yourself that way, you're going to change the chemistry in your body in negative ways. Now, if you go the other way, over to the positive side, over to the Jedi side, then you're going to have a different approach to life. You'll have a different way that relationships work. You'll have a different way on how you see your world. Now, all through this investigation of being in the illusion, you have to recognize, and we put out several videos, you create your world. You create your world, and therefore you can change it. What makes up the world that you have now? Your experiences of the past that are now memories. Because all the events that you attribute to happening in the past didn't happen in the past. They're all gone. The only thing left is your memories, and they are creations. So how do you use happy memories to make this shift here? That's kind of what we're talking about. So I mentioned some of them in the description of this. Now, also I mentioned something that we should talk about. We've talked about it in the past, and I've done another video on that in the past, and I'll reference that. It is the fact that in the present moment, which is the only place you can be, you bring with you into the present moment something that's causing you to see your world more negatively. And it's called your past. You are bringing your past memories, which are stories you tell yourself, into the present moment. And you filter the present moment through your negative memories. And so the present moment will look much like your past. And you will believe, well, I got all these negative memories, the present is not good, and the future will look much like the past. In the last video, remember how the future is coming towards the present moment. And when it gets there, it will look much like the past to you, based upon your memories of the past that you brought into the present moment. Now, if you have good memories, this is where you start manifesting, because you start using your good memories. And now you can put them in a journal. Like I said, a happy journal. Sayings, experiences, drawings, little sketches, little things that you remember, that you write down about your day, particularly things that cause you to be grateful. So you don't want to put things down that are negative. You want to put only positive things in a happy journal. Now, where are we at now? Okay, we are looking at shifting from over here to over here. And when you bring a happy memory in to the present moment, now recognize It's in your mind. Okay? There's nothing there's nothing physical that you're going to have that you're going to bring. But you do have a happy memory. The happy memory is not a physical thing, it's an emotional thing. And when you bring that emotional memory vividly into the present moment, you affect chemistry of the body. You affect the chemistry in the body. Every thought you have produces chemistry. Negative thoughts, negative chemistry. Positive thoughts, positive chemistry. So the idea is to bring in those good memories, those happy thoughts, to begin to change the chemistry in the body. Now, all of these things are interlocked. I know you can't see them. You might think about, last video we talked about the flower of life, of all of the circles that are interconnected. And we're all interconnected with the life around us. Now, the life we see around us is an inside interpretation based upon what we're thinking. And when we begin to change our thoughts and we have experiences, that's why the positive and happy memory is so important. Inside of it is so much positive energy. It will change the chemistry of the body. And when it changes the chemistry of the body, you are magnificent. You see, most of the affirmation work is around manifesting something from the outside that will make you feel good inside. What I'm suggesting is with happy memories, you can feel good inside. You don't have to have anything else. Now, how can you do that? Well, while you are visualizing your happy memory, you can do yoga. You can do meditation. You can do relaxation. You can do visualization. There's all kinds of things you can do. It is what's inside that gives you the feeling of being happy. Getting something from the outside, wonderful. But think of how many people, when I was in therapy, three clients that I had committed suicide. And of those three, two were very intelligent, very, extremely intelligent, made a lot of money, had a lot of things, had houses, had boats, had everything that this world would want to make them happy. Weren't happy. Weren't happy. And they thought it was better for them to leave, and so they left. It is not what's going on outside that's going to make you happy. It's what's going on inside. And then what's going on, if it's happy inside, if it changes the inside, if it changes your chemistry, you'll filter your outside world differently, and it will be magnificent. Oh, there is much to think about in the illusion. There is much to think about. Nothing is the way you think it is. Getting is wonderful, but unless you are feeling on the inside like you deserve it, won't stay. So you have to change you. Why? Happy memories will definitely help. It will change your chemistry, which will affect your attitude, which will change your filtering system, which will cause you to see a wonderful world. Oh, this is a different approach. When you stop seeing what isn't there, when you stop bringing the negative past into the present, you start shifting. It's skewing. You will begin to skew your life to the positive side. And you're worth it. You are so worth it. Inside of you is such a still point in the present moment. So peaceful that when you get there, nothing else matters. It is your original self. So when you find that through using happy memories, that's how you use them. You use them to your advantage. Now give that some thought and see if you could come up with 2 or 3 extremely happy memories for you over here. Extremely happy memories. And now you use let's say you might begin to recognize that this is a different approach, but it's not that much different than using affirmations. Your happy memory is the affirmation that changes the chemistry in the body, which causes you to see your world differently. And you will have a different world. You're creating it, and you created the one you have right now. And by just a slight shift in your center line, you can have a great world. So it is in healing the past and keeping the negative out of the present moment. And the only way you can do that, don't try to hide it under a bushel basket. You got to heal it. Healing is self-forgiveness. So when you let this go here, it's all going to skew over here to the other side. So so you need this happy memory as an anchor to move your boat, over here. So as you give that some thought, now we may do some work around how to heal this and how to shift this. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. And we'll see if we can support you in making that transition. Life is a transition. And you're creating it moment by moment, experience by experience. And now, using this process of a happy memory and putting together a happy journal. By the way, that concept, when I got it, came out of a process called faster, EFT, uh, and very powerful techniques. So give that some thought. Will and be good to yourself. And we'll talk to you next time we get together. Bye now.